20 years ago today, actually right about this time, I fell from up there and I landed right here, right there, on solid rock. And today it's raining, so I'm actually going to come up out of the rain to talk a little bit about this story and how it changed my life forever. So, right there is where I landed. As you can see right now, this is not a short fall. This is from where my harness was left to here, it's 86 feet. Roughly like jumping off a 7-story building. Here's what you don't know. The climb starts here or over there. You climb up, and then when you get to the top, you have the ability to jump off Aussie style. And there's a ledge that's just down below me right here that you have to miss. So you jump out to miss that ledge and land down at the bottom. Now, this is exhilarating. It's fun. It's amazing. And I had done it many, many, many times. But with my gear and my overconfidence, not in the right place, I ended up without any support and free falling from up there all the way down there. And I realize that there's a whole lot of analogies around that. So when we think about when we make choices that we know we shouldn't make, when we do things we know we shouldn't do, and sometimes things happen even when things aren't obvious. What you're looking at is results. You're looking at things that happen. And sometimes you get hit by a car. Sometimes a car hits you. Sometimes you hit something. Something happens out of the norm and ordinary that you had no control over. And sometimes you have control over things like this. But I learned a lot. And I've learned a lot from this very rough, horrible moment in my life. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. I was broken. Literally broken. Some of you who have known me in person may have seen this nice big scar. It was not a simple or easy recovery, but it was the best thing that has ever happened to me. As a result, my entire course in life changed. So, that moment, 20 years ago, brought me to a screeching halt. It literally was more than just a physical fall and sudden stop. It stopped me in every way. Matter of fact, when I was recovering, I couldn't use my left arm or my left leg, and in the wheelchair, if I wanted to go anywhere, I was going in circles. I went from being fully capable, in amazing shape, physically able to do just about anything. I had not reached my physical limit, my ceiling. I didn't know where or what I could or couldn't do. But all of a sudden, that wasn't an issue. That wasn't the question. That was all taken away. I had to sit down, slow down, stop, and think. And realize that I was not becoming the man that I wanted to be. Had I not had that wonderfully terrifying incident, I wouldn't be anywhere close to the man I am today. Now, while I'm not perfect, and I haven't been perfect for the last 20 years, I'm a better man because of that fall. It made me think about things. It made me think about the things that literally, as I fell, I thought about the things that I would no longer be able to do. I didn't think that, oh, I'm going to die. That was a given. It didn't actually go through my mind. I was instantly reminded of the things that I would not do, things I would not have, because I was going to die. I didn't actually say it in my head, but that was there. And then I landed and I was alive. Shocked that I was alive. I checked my fingers and toes, and if you go back in the video, you'll see where there's a vehicle, and I had to walk down to get to the vehicle. Not far, but I still had to get up and walk. And being a Boy Scout all my life, I knew how to check fingers, toes, movement, no broken. My back wasn't broken, amazingly. Now my pelvis was fractured. And first of all, the doctors don't know how I lived through that. They don't know how I walked with my pelvis in the condition it was. But adrenaline. Something. I wasn't going to lay there while this was before cell phones. So I literally wasn't going to lay there while somebody drove down the mountain, told somebody that I was busted up, and then they drove back and picked me up. That would have been hours possibly. I was not going to lay there and do that. So I had my roommate at the time get me up and help me to the car. And it was amazing that I didn't die. It made me think hard about all of the things that I almost lost. All of the things that I almost never had. And those moments are wonderful and eye-opening and humbling. And all of a sudden, I had a lot of thinking to do. It's really all I could do. Couldn't even bathe myself by myself. Love you, Grandma Bear. So it was difficult and humbling and just like screeching halt to my life. And it changed everything. There was no more military. There was no more football. There was no more future in law enforcement. I know those of you who know me now or didn't know that that's where I wanted to go, you're laughing now. So all of that was done and gone, and I had to figure out what my plan was going forward again and who I was going to be during that time. Now, again, like I said, I haven't been perfect. It's not like that changed me. I was still 20 years old. I was still young and foolish and didn't have a whole lot of great examples. But as I went on, I found good examples. I still had bad habits. I still had trauma that affected me. I still had situations from my life and my history that made it difficult for me to operate in the best or most ideal way. But over the last 20 years, I've evolved and developed and grown in a way that I never would have. It was wonderful for me to have that moment at 20 so that I'm who I am today 20 years later. I'll let you do that math. And hopefully, as I move forward throughout my life, I'll look back and realize the head start I had because of that moment. So many people hit a midlife crisis, and then all of a sudden they make choices, and then they look back and they're humbled and they realize all the stupid stuff they did then. I got to realize how dumb I was being at 20. And that was a gift. It was a wonderful, wonderful gift. Now you may have been through something. You may have lost someone. You may have had a car accident, a health scare, a course correction or change in life that shook you and caused you to pause. It doesn't matter where it happens. You could have been a teenager, you could be midlife, you could be older. It doesn't matter. Those moments shape us, shake us, cause us to pause and contemplate and evaluate. And then all of a sudden, I've got to realize, hey, I can do things different. I can be different. I can make different choices. I can go and do that thing that I've always wanted to do. I can follow that dream. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I set this plan out long ago and I didn't even know what I wanted. Now that I've got it, do I really want it? Is this the life I really wanted? And often the answer is no. I thought this is what I wanted. I thought this life is what I wanted. And all of a sudden you reevaluate and you're like, I didn't know what this life would even be when I originally said that I wanted it. It's so funny. We often look at other people, and we look at celebrities, and we look at Instagram, and we look at social media, and we read stories, and you know what? We only see what people want us to see. And then all of a sudden, when we get a life that looks somewhat like that, or when we get a life that looks, at least we can present on Instagram, it looks this way, we realize there's still all the human stuff back there. All the human stuff that we don't actually tell people about, that we don't show people, that we don't put on Instagram, is still there. So that life is often not what we thought it was. And then we realize, okay, well, that was really somebody else saying, oh, you should go do this. Or parents, or some type of peer pressure saying, here's the life you should want. Well, what's the life you want? What's the passion you have? You don't need a traumatic experience to have that moment of reflection. You can do that right now. You can literally get done with this video, sit back, go on a walk, go find somewhere beautiful, magical, amazing, wonderful, and inspiring, and think to yourself, what do I want? What is it that I want? What life do I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? What do I want to see and experience? And what do I want to learn? All of that, if you're watching this, is still in front of you. It doesn't matter if you have 5 minutes, 2 weeks, 6 months, 10 years, the rest of your life to do something different. Right now, in this moment, moving forward, you can do something different. Or you can do something the same. Maybe you're watching this and you're already living that life and you can inspire others. Matter of fact, if you're living your life, I want to hear from you even more because I want to talk to you about how you got there. So that you can go, so that we can go and talk to other people and say, hey, here's how we got to a life that was purely 100% our own, of our own making. See, if you're watching this in this wonderful, amazing world of technology and travel and being able to get on a plane and go pretty much anywhere, that is literally crazy. 200 years ago, if you would have told someone that this is the way the world was today, they would lose their mind and tell you you were crazy and probably either burn you at the stake or make you drink poison hemlock or something. Like, really, we live in amazing times. We have amazing opportunities. And if you want to see something, learn something, do something, you live in a time where it's more possible than it's ever been before. Don't listen to the doom and gloom, that things are so bad in the world. That's not true. That's not true. The world is amazing. The world is what you and I make of it. You and I can work together to make the world wonderful, to realize and see the world as the wonder that it is. And that's really between you and me and the people I talk to and reach and the people you talk to and reach. So if you want to work with me to help people realize how wonderful the world is, to spread positivity, to talk about amazing opportunities and ideas, to talk about the things that we agree upon, not the things we don't not the things we don't agree upon or disagree upon. If you want to focus there and you want to live in that world and you want to be part of that community, I'm excited. I want to talk to you. I want to connect with you. I'm grateful that on that fall that I landed and that it slowed me down and stopped me but didn't kill me, that I'm still here to talk to you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I think you're amazing. I can tell you right now that if you're watching this, if you've made it all the way through this, if you've stuck with me through all that ranting and raving, that something somewhere here in your experience with me is lighting you up, is getting you excited. What is that? I want to know. Reach out to me. Connect with me. Matter of fact, there's a link somewhere, either at the end of this video or down below, where you can take a fun adventure to get to know me and learn a little bit more about how you can interact with me. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful I'm still here. I'm grateful I'm here to live in this wonderful world, doing amazing things, seeing amazing people, getting to know people just like you. So until we talk, until you and I talk, I hope you have an amazing day. And I'm going to let you see how beautiful this wonderful place is.